Hello, everyone. My name is Paul Third, and this week on Mixing Wednesdays, I want to discuss the Harrison 32C channel strip. There has been a lot of discussion about this plugin ever since I've done that video talking all about plugin myths. I was told it then ended up on a certain forum. You could guess which fucking audio forum it ended on, and loads of people said, Paul, don't bother going down that rabbit hole. They told me a few things that had been said, and I just thought, know what? I'm just going to take it head on because that's what I do. So I have decided to look into this channel strip. Many people are stating that it sounds so analog and it's Harrison that made it. And know what? It's just like the 32C mixbus DAW in a plugin. So let's test that out. Just how analog is the Harrison 32C channel plugin? Let's find out. So when I was driving to work this morning, this kind of whole idea, it came into my head, and I found it quite funny, and I thought I would share it with you guys. Okay, it's a bit weird, but I'm a bit weird, so I don't fucking care, right? So I kind of had this idea of like the guys at Harrison are just one particular guy being in control of the marketing and the ideas, like the ideas man for Harrison. And I kind of thought of this kind of funny like presentation of like this really cheesy Cockney guy presenting this idea of the channel strip. So basically, in a nutshell, in this kind of presentation, this Harrison presentation launch of Harrison telling everybody about the plugin they were going to release, and in a sense, kind of sum up this plugin in my own little humorous way. Stick around because I'm going to do a few audio tests so you can hear what the plugin sounds like compared to other linear digital clean EQs. But first off, let's just have a little bit of fun. Okay.
Right, guys, okay, right. I'm the brains of the operation here at Harrison, all right? Steve, right? Steve, never forget the name, right? Steve, right? Think of me like Steve Jobs, right? Always thinking, always innovating. Now, obviously, we do not want to lose sales of the mixbus, right? The mixbus 32C is our bestseller. People fucking love the sound of that analog sound in the door. But obviously, right, if we made a separate plugin, then we can make a little bit of moolah, right? It's fucking COVID, it's been a bit tough. So what we're going to do, right? We're going to release a channel strip plugin. Now, obviously we've got the analog sound of the mixbus. We've got a plugin. Many people might buy that and then ditch this, right? We do not want that to happen. So what I thought about, right? Something revolutionary that nobody else has ever thought about, right? What about we make a plugin, analog with the sound of digital? Analog, right? Harrison console with the sound of digital. Completely clean, completely linear. Right, you'll be thinking, Steve, this sounds crazy. Right, analog, completely digital. I'm telling you it's possible, right? I'm telling you it's possible. What about, right, we take all the saturation, all that lovely analog colour that people love in the mix bus. We take that out of the plugin. Still analog, it's Harrison, right? We've got a fucking faceplate on it. It's Harrison, right? We take all the saturation out, make it completely clean, okay? Completely digital, right? Analog, with the sound of digital, right? Always remember that. Analog with the sound of digital, right? So what we're going to do is we'll take the saturation out of the compressors. The fuck wants that anyway, right? Take the saturation out of the compressors. Actually, I don't want any fucking linear response, anything. Clean digital compressor, but it's still analog, right? Analog with the sound of digital, right? Think about it, right? I know it's fucking, you're going like, fucking hell, Steve, this is groundbreaking. I know, but fucking, no. It's what I do. It's what I get paid for, innovating. Now, what I'm thinking with the EQs, right, is we make them even more linear, even more digital, right? So essentially, if you had two fucking EQ plugins, you know, fabfilter, right, and fucking Waves F6 or something like that, a stock plugin, right? It's just like the stock plugin, which means it's going to be really easy to code because it's just a parametric EQ, right? Fucking simple as that, right? So what we can do is, right, we can get the curves of the Harrison, make them more linear, more digital, analog with a sound of digital. I want to make sure if anybody sticks their fucking bass, their drum, guitar, vocal, no pass through. They stick whatever they want through our plugin. Doesn't make a fucking sound. Doesn't even change. I don't want any analog non-linearities, right? All I want is analog with a sound of fucking digital. So, no pass through, nothing. Now, obviously, we're not going to tell anybody, right? Obviously, right? We're not going to tell anybody that it's analog with a sound of digital, right? Because it's our idea, and we don't want anybody to fucking be stealing our ideas. Like, fucking hell, right? So, what we're going to do is we're going to market it analog fucking channel strip, right? The sound of analog. It's analog, it's Harrison. We've got analog with a fucking mixbus, but we've got analog with a sound of digital in a channel strip plugin. It's fucking revolutionary. All we've got to do is make it as clean and as linear as fucking possible. I don't want any fucking CPU hit. I don't want any fucking oversampling. And I know everybody is like, fucking hell, Steve, this is impossible. I'm telling you right fucking now, right? Believe my words right now. When that plugin gets released, analog with a sound of digital. Still analog, still Harrison, right? Harrison with our fucking name on it, right? Analog with a sound of digital. Let the future commence.
Why the fuck did I choose to do that? I just watched it back. I'm going to include it, right? I should take it out, but I just find it funny that this came into my head when I was driving. Now, obviously, that's not what happened in the Harrison offices, but I don't give a shit. I found it quite funny. The truth of it is, it's just a fucking digital plugin. The curves match perfectly. The curves are completely linear, okay? I'm showing you an F6 with it moving up and moving down. As long as you have the right Q factor set, it's a fixed Q. And all you're doing is just fucking bringing up your gain and getting the right frequency. It's the exact same. The curves match perfect. The only difference is, like, in the Waves F6, you kind of get the same filters. So where in FabFilter and other, like, EQ plugins, like digital clean linear EQs, what you could do is you can get the high pass and low pass and kind of boost it. So you do that thing where you're kind of like doing a high pass and low pass, and then you kind of boost as well, which is kind of what you see in the Harrison. And honestly, guys, right, the curves are just completely linear, right? There's nothing analog about this plugin. There's no saturation in the compressors, and even the fact that, like, you can't have full control of the compressor's attack, release, and ratio. Again, it's like it's in the manual. They've got like different presets, and it's why only allow you in compressor mode to change the ratio, but you need to have a fixed attack and release. But in the limiter mode, you can change the attack and know the release. But again, there's no harmonics in it. So it's just like any other fucking compressor plugin, but it's actually more limited. And it is true, there is no pass-through whatsoever, right? There is no analog sound just running through the analog Harrison console, right? Just feeding your sources through an analog fucking console, you would get a difference in sound. And it doesn't matter if you've got the compressor on or off. The compressor does not change the sound whatsoever, on and off, on and off, on and off, because there's no fucking saturation, and there's no linear frequency response either. It just doesn't change the sound. So to do our first test, I've got two tests for you. So the first one, what I've done is I've matched the curves as perfect as I could. It's not 100% perfect because I couldn't be bothered and I'm a bit lazy, but I matched them as close as I could be bothered doing. So they are pretty damn matched, right? And I matched them using Plugin Doctor and also the Bertom curve analyzer as well, which is absolutely free. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a side-by-side, A and B, right? Both curve matched, level matched. Can you tell a difference, right? Can we tell a difference? I'm not going to tell you which is which either, because I'm just not going to. So here is Waves F6, completely digital linear EQ, the Harrison EQ with the curves matched without the filter section engaged.
I think that girl over there thinks she likes me. I think that girl over there thinks she likes me. I think that girl over there thinks she likes me. I think that girl over there thinks she likes me. I think that girl over there thinks she likes me. I think that girl over there thinks she likes me. I think that girl over there thinks she likes me. I think that girl over there thinks she likes me.
Right, okay, so I'll let you guys deliberate in the comments down below. If you can tell me genuinely which one is the Waves F6 and which one is the Harrison EQ, and if you can tell which one the Harrison EQ is, and also why it is the Harrison EQ, and what makes that sound more analog than the Waves F6, then please be my guest and go in the comments down below. Now, a lot of people will be saying, ha ha ha, but what about the filters? Like, what about the filters, right? You've not had the filters engaged. Now, as I said earlier, in the Waves F6, I cannot get the same low pass and high pass filters as the Harrison EQ because it doesn't do that kind of boost. It just genuinely stays at 0 and kind of does that. It doesn't kind of do that thing where it kind of boosts and then you could move it. So I decided to get a FabFilter out. Let's just get another digital linear EQ. The good old trusted FabFilter. Okay, so what I've done is I have matched the high pass and the low pass filter, because again you can, because it's completely linear, it's digital filters. So what I've done is I've matched the curves and I've got the filters in as well. Let's do another A/B test to see with the EQ and the filtering on. Can you hear a bloody difference? Is the Harrison console finally with the filter, the analog filters, is it going to come more apparent? Are you going to hear an analog flavour? Is one just going to come out at you and have this analog width and depth that everybody's been saying? Is there going to be a massive difference? Let's find out.
I think that girl over there thinks she likes me. I think that girl over there thinks she likes me. I think that girl over there thinks she likes me. I think that girl over there thinks she likes me. I think that girl over there thinks she likes me. I think that girl over there thinks she likes me. I think that girl over there thinks she likes me. I think that girl over there thinks she likes me.
Of course, there's no fucking difference. Look, I'm not going to tell you which is which, because as soon as I tell you which is which, it's happened so many times before, everybody's going to comment, and people that have bought the Harrison are going to be like,
I can still hear the difference.
and because they comment, it means it's true. You guys have to tell me in both tests which one is A and which one is B. Tell me the difference, right? Tell me which one in both tests the Harrison is. Tell me which one sounds better and why it sounds better. Look, in the end, guys, it's just marketing fodder. Like, that's all this plugin is. It really annoys me. In their marketing, it's like they keep on mentioning the analog sound, the analog sound, the analog sound, the analog sound of the Harrison 32C console. Even in their promo, no, they'll play a little bit of their promo, right? Just like little clips of their promo, just to kind of show you what I'm talking about in terms of the marketing.
Introducing the 32C channel plugin, the new cross-format plugin that brings Harrison's true analog sound to your digital audio workstation based on the original Harrison 32C analog console from 1975. Every resistor, capacitor, and transistor is included in the model. Harrison's innovative compressor with 3 different characters is also included. Selections for smooth compression, classic leveling, and fast limiting are provided. Those 3 quick presets help you to recreate the signature compression effects with minimal effort. The new Harrison 32C channel plugin, a channel strip plugin like no other. Simple, elegant, musical, with an unmistakable legendary sound.
Manufacturers, stop fucking doing this. Stop it. People are spending money because they trust you. People trust that this sounds like the analog console. People trust that this is going to sound like analog in the box. People are spending money, not even realising that they could recreate it. They could recreate it for free. All you've got to do is get the right cue for each band, and that's it. Bob's your uncle, Sheila's your auntie. It's as simple as that, right? Get the right cue and you've got it. I know there's a lot of like stuff about subjectivity and objectivity. I just can't be subjective with this one. I just can't. I just can't. It's taking people's money and not being upfront and honest. It's just not honest. It's just not analog. There's nothing that makes this plugin more analog than any other digital linear EQ. But what I can tell you is these other digital linear EQs have fucking way more options than this. People might say, but Paul, you said you love the Better Maker. The Better Maker is absolutely clean. There's no harmonics in it, but the curves are phenomenal. And as I've said many times in other videos, right, to get the interaction of the curves in the Better Maker, you would need at least fucking 13, 14 hands and little bands all moving at once. You can't do it in real time. You can do it in real time with fucking this Harrison plugin. It's just like any other plugin. Guys, just listen to the ABs. Just listen to them, right? Does one stand out as, oh my God, that is analog, right? It's wider, it's got more depth, it's got more punch. I don't think so. And for anybody that's like, well, I can't tell the difference on YouTube. Clean linear digital EQ versus an analog style plugin. Come on, right? Come on. You should be able to tell the difference even with YouTube compression. Don't go down that route. I know it might sound a bit harsh, but when it comes to you guys, my subscribers, I want to look after you, right? I don't want you wasting your money when you could get it elsewhere. Guys, it's just a waste of money. In my personal, humble opinion. Well, the gear slots, guys, I love that. But that's what it is, guys, right? Test out for yourself. If you don't believe me, curve match everything, do blind tests, and you'll find out for yourself. So, my name is Paul Third. I'm sorry. Sorry, I will apologise to Harrison for my little, like, shitty Cockney accent. That board meeting, right, I can guarantee you it did not happen. I just found it funny. And hopefully you guys find it funny as well. So, my name is Paul Third. This is Mixing Wednesdays, and I will see you next week.